Good morning and welcome to Orca News.
The headlines. The commencement of the Lingus and Rotherham District Infrastructure Project.
The recognition of Lovehurt Village for the next elections.
Legislature to propose some election amendments.
Landova in one for Earth Day.
A look back 2 years of Schottler founding anniversary.
And the 1 year making of the news provided to you.
The Lingus and Rotherham District Project has commenced. More to report from Ludward. Ludward?
Yes, Lewis. The Lingus and Rotherham District Project in Picot City has commenced last Wednesday. Starting with the planning and constructing infrastructure builds in the district 1 week after the commencement of the Schottler finalization project. The project mainly focuses on the districts of Lingus and Rotherham. More on commercial builds to be built in Rotherham District and residential builds in the Lingus District in Picot City. Construction will mainly begin to proceed next week. The Infrastructure Projects Act of 2021 recognizes every provision to begin its sub-projects after Congress made an agreement. Lewis.
Thank you, Ludward.
Congress has given recognition to Lovehurt Village to include the citizens into the Landovian elections. Congress will delegate 1 seat representative for the House and Representatives. Congress will not delegate any seats for the Senate, such that the village is autonomous, and be given support autonomously. Members of the legislature will be giving rights to the principal mayor of the village, to exercise its civil authority and duties as the village's mayor. Citizens of Lovehurt Village will be given the right to vote for the next general elections. Several proposed amendments rang the Congress. More to report from Paul. Paul?
Yes, Carson. The members of the legislature with the executive branch have exchanged proposals to amend the Constitution, particularly the amendment to change the election process and system. Several congressmen talked about that it is beginning to be out of date, that is not supported for today's ruling. Various proposed amendments include separate elections for the vice president, the inclusion of Redstone member districts in the House of Representatives, and more. President Limson stated that the election amendment agreements will be done by virtue of both the executive and judicial branches. Both the President and Chief Justice will sign the agreed proposed amendments. In case of a declined proposal, both the President and Chief Justice can veto the proposed amendments. It must first be done through various hearing and processes, as well as letting the Senate handle the procedures for the agreement. Carson?
Thank you, Paul.
Here's our weather for today.
Landova has once again taken part in the Earth Day celebration. Various campaigns revolved around the world strategizing the call for action in building a modern and sustainable development of the planet. President Limson in his address yesterday said that everyone must act environmentally and productively for the ecological and environmental development of the country, that people and future generations will do the same. President Limson took focus on the biodiversity of Landova. Extensive land reclamation and flattening become a very crucial part of the biodiversity of the country. With the Infrastructure Projects Act, A Sustainable Biodiversity Act may be proposed for heavily protected wildlife sanctuaries and natural wildlife markers. Within the Sustainable Biodiversity Act preserves the green area in some parts of the country. President Limson also took notice of developing smart cities, limiting pollution factors and energy use. All are being driven to Congress for agreement and finalization.
A look back 2 years in the making of the municipality of Schottler. More to report from George.
It has been 2 years since this municipality has been established. On April 23, 2019, the largest municipality in Landova has been established. It all started with these establishments. A restaurant, a movie theater, and an elevated freeway have been built. Several weeks to months later, the Bank Plaza has been established, marked the first central bank of Landova. Afterward, a bayside was built, creating shops and restaurants for people to see besides the sea. A year later, the northern portion of the municipality has been built, assembling the Assembly Hall, the Municipal Hall, and a park. Housing was also established on the southern side, and more establishments were built until today's finalization project. Schottler has become the financially centered municipality for the whole nation of Landova. Picot City and Schottler Mayor Justin Lamson greeted Schottler citizens for their second founding anniversary of their municipality. This is George Duncan in the municipality of Schottler. Reporting for Orca News.
As for today's wonderful celebration, with our crew, staff, production, and management, we are happy to be with you all and serving the nation with the news we've been reporting for a year.
We thank you for all your humble support of our news program. We look forward to expressing your gratitude for us in the making of the news. As Orca News turns 1, we have brought you this.
And that's it for today's news. This is Garson Nilgers.
And this is Louis Barnes. Reporting
Reporting
for
for
Orca
Orca
News.
News. Good morning, everyone.